Guys, I think we all know now that Terminator Dark Fate is a failure of epic proportions for a Terminator movie. It's one of the biggest disappointments of 2019, and 2019 is not a strong year for hardly any movies at the box office, save Avengers Endgame and John Wick. But Terminator Dark Fate was a disaster. And at the beginning of the movie, newsflash, they kill off John Connor. That didn't really sit well with many fans whatsoever. I think a lot of fans were highly upset that John Connor was killed off at the beginning of the movie because it retcons Terminator 1 and Terminator 2 Judgment Day. And apparently, the fans aren't the only ones that are upset by this. Edward Furlong, who portrayed John Connor in Terminator 2 Judgment Day as a young boy, returned for a small role in Terminator Dark Fate. However, it doesn't really seems like he actually knew what was going to happen to his character. And he seems to be pretty pissed off about this. And I don't blame him. I 100% agree with him. He actually had an interview and kind of voiced his opinion on the treatment of his character in Terminator Dark Fate. So let's take a look and see what Edward Furlong has to say about John Connor meeting his demise, not at the end of Terminator Dark Fate, but right at the beginning of Terminator Dark Fate, killed off as a young boy in Guatemala. It says here, courtesy of Screen Rant, in an interview with Alex Leba, Furlong was apparently caught off guard about what would become of his character and was a little let down by the development. "They smoked my ass," he exclaimed. "That was the role. I did it for a day. I shot for 1 day. And yeah, we did some CGI. They paid me. So, I mean, it kind of burns me out because I love to do a whole one and make a shit ton of money. I would love to do more, but we'll see what happens." Now, we all know that Edward Furlong wasn't going to get a whole movie. I mean, he's had a lot of personal issues in his life, and I don't think he was ever going to really portray John Connor again. But based on what he had to say, it doesn't seem like he was really in the know about what was going to happen. Because I don't really think he was actually on set per se for that. I think they probably just wanted to map his face and everything like that to put on Drew Colley, who actually portrayed a young John Connor at the beginning of the movie. So they just wanted to catch his mannerisms, I guess. And that was pretty much it. They didn't even let him know what was really going on, because I'm pretty sure if they told him what was going to happen, he probably was going to be really, really pissed off and probably, tell them, "Hey, I don't like this." But Edward Furlong, what's happened with his life, he did it to himself. I would have loved to see him portray an older John Connor, but it's just not possible right now. If I was James Cameron and Tim Miller and Skydance, I would have just recast the role with another actor for John Connor and went on with the Future War story, but we didn't get that. We got the complete destruction of John Connor in this movie. And Edward Furlong sees the same thing that a lot of fans are seeing, that, hey, this just is not right. He said it right here. "They smoked my ass." Yeah, they did. They killed you off in cold blood because you are a white male and you're a white male from the past. That just doesn't fly in 2019 woke Hollywood. Woke Hollywood now is all about, female empowerment, replacing, the men with the women. And it's not paying off because 2019, every single movie that has gotten woke so far has went broke. It just has. Charlie's Angels, disaster. Terminator Woke Fate, I should say, or Dark Fate if you want to call it that too, a disaster. Episode 9 Star Wars, we'll have to see what happens with that. It's not out yet. But look at how good Joker did. No identity politics, low budget movie, and it made over $1 billion. Because it was a good movie, they were focused on story first. That didn't happen with Terminator Dark Fate. I mean, this was really kind of like the same thing with The Last Jedi. People go in expecting to see their hero Luke, become this all-powerful Jedi, and it never happened. He was disrespected and they killed him off. It's the same thing here with John Connor in Terminator Dark Fate. We're waiting to see what happens with John Connor after almost 30 years from being off screen, post Terminator 2 Judgment Day, because the other movies aren't canon, and we get him killed off in the opening minutes of the movie. I don't blame Everett Furlong for feeling this way at all. It was a complete disrespectful disaster, all for identity politics. I know I said this over and over and over again in other videos about Terminator Dark Fate, and it's nice to see that an actor from the movie, if you really want to call him an actor in the movie, it's nice to see him voicing his displeasure about this. He wasn't on board with this, but it is what it is. The John Connor era is over in Terminator, and with that, Terminator is over for now. Will they make more movies? Not a sequel to Dark Fate. They'll probably continue. Let's start this new trilogy. We're going to do this and that, but it's over. It's completely over. It was a good run after T2, but now, because of this decision, Terminator is dead. But that's just my thoughts on this. What are your thoughts on this, guys? Everett Furlong voicing his opinion on the controversial opening scene of Terminator Dark Fate. So guys, let me know what you think about all this in the comments. If you're new here to the channel, please hit subscribe to catch future videos from me, and we will catch you on the next video. John Matrixx, out.